What's up, YouTube? ODST General back again with another Operation Trebuchet news update. So this week, guys, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter one since we had such a long one last week. I've got a lot less to cover. Starting us off, we've got more work on the frigate. So Forky's gone ahead. He's gotten the frigate done with the initial textures. Now, these aren't, of course, final textures. It still needs to be textured for Arma. Sadly, it won't look quite this good once Arma's done having its way with it, but it's still going to look really good. I'm really excited to see what's done with this eventually. Still no word on whether or not they're going to do the interior hangar bays for this or not. So that's probably still up in the air depending on who's doing the configurations and stuff for it. We also got a picture of it showing off the weapons, and at least the first name they've given this ship, it may or may not get a different name, and the names may or may not be changeable down the road. So that's hard to say for sure. I did contact Forky, and he was able to respond before I recorded this video. I asked him what the plans were as far as the M9 10-point defense turrets. So he said, initially speaking, those turrets are just going to be for looks. They're not going to be operational right away. He would like to see, and I believe the plan is for them to be operational at some point, both those and the Archer missile pods, but as of right now, at least, that's not the case. So hopefully we'll be able to see something with that. He said, that is something he wants to do. It's just a matter of when. So chances are, if this does make it into the hotfix, which at the rate it's going, it may be in the hotfix as just like a basic static object. We probably won't see it with any functionality besides the fact that it's just a cool looking static object for background looks. Anyways, moving on, we've got some ammunition rounds for the Rhino. That is the UNSC artillery unit from Halo Wars 1 that we showed off last week. Now, I tried to contact Hollywood about this before recording. I wasn't able to get back with him to see what was going on with this for sure. Now, it sounds like the Rhino will for sure have standard rounds that it fires, but it will also have a limited amount of the prototype plasma rounds that you see in Halo Wars 1 during the campaign mission where you get these. So that should be kind of an interesting thing. It would be the only UNSC vehicle to get that. Now, if they do that, I don't know that these would be put into Operation Trebuchet Normal, or if they'd be put into First Contact given the plasma rounds. But if they do that, I would think probably just Operation Trebuchet. It's hard to say for sure, though. Either way, very excited for this unit. I really have been wanting a UNSC artillery unit for a long time. It's something that I feel like has just been kind of lacking. I mean, it's one of those things, normal people aren't going to see those a whole lot, but I think people who are actually like using artillery and ops and stuff would love that. And they just look cool, so they make great set pieces at the very least. Going on to side mods, we have some more barriers from Donnie. So we've got a much more upscaled barrier that's bigger than the guy. Now, I think that one's probably a little too big and needs to be downscaled some. I'm not sure exactly how big that barrier is supposed to be offhand. With that being said, I did contact Donnie as well. He says he does want to get these into Arma at some point, but right now he is overseas, and he said, well, he's coming back stateside soonish. He's not going to have time to work on these for a little bit, let alone get them in game and everything. So we'll probably see a bit more progress on these maybe for next week or something, or the week after. I wouldn't count on seeing these in game for quite a while. With that being said, I'm pretty excited for what happens with them. Continuing on with side mods, we've got some work on my own map, Gao. GEK Vengeful has been putting in a ton of work on different compositions and stuff that he's been customizing for the map. He's got two compositions that he's shown off to me. One is based off of the Visegrad relay from Halo Reach from the first mission. So it's like a military site. It's on the coastal edge of the city. He says it's got a lot of assets put into it, so I don't know how resource intensive this one is or isn't yet. I really like that one. It looks really cool, personally. And then we've got a Oni site that goes into that, rocks and stuff in the background. With that being said, neither of these have been implemented into the map yet, and they'll probably have a lot of work that need to be done once it comes to that. But really cool stuff. I'm pretty excited for it too. Beyond that, we've got OpCan 3.0, of course, a lot of stuff there. So we've got some more vehicle textures here as far as the I can't remember what this just got renamed to, like today or yesterday. I read the name and now I can't remember it. But we've got the trucks that were retextured. Pretty cool unit as far as that goes. The Meerkat, I think, is what Burgess is calling those. I had to just double check, but it looks like all of them are called the Meerkat. Anyways, we've got URF textures for that, as well as Colonial Guard. There's the Colonial Guard and the CMA, so it gets a little confusing sometimes. We've also got IDAP variants of the Pelican, and that we'll see some other variants as well with the Colonial Guard helmets and stuff like that. Speaking of which, we've also got press variants of some of the helmets and stuff, so that's pretty neat too. So that comes in the flavors of red and blue with some different icons and logos and stuff, so that's a pretty cool little unit there. Nice little civilian skin, which is more than welcome. I think that's one thing that we've especially lacked in Optre is civilian assets. It's something that you see in a lot of missions as civilians, and you use a lot, or at least I used a lot, and it just don't feel quite right, and you can't put everybody in the Arctic Explorer skin. I mean, you can, but that one's a little bit harder to justify if you're in a tropical island and they're all wearing like long sleeve jackets. Anyways, going on, the police are getting a bit of an overhaul. They're getting the Colonial Guard helmets modified to replace their current helmets, so we can see here all of the lineup with the new helmets and everything. So pretty similar to their current designs for the most part, but a nice little change. Definitely dig the new helmet. It's a little bit better looking, I think, than the previous ones. Either way, it was cool. I'm excited though for it. And then we've got some new weapons that were donated to OpCan by Joshua over there in the OpCan Discord. Most of these are custom weapons. The only one that I'm familiar with offhand is the Gadoosh, and that's a pretty cool weapon. It's a rocket launcher that was actually getting designed before its fan design, and then the rest are just various different custom weapons, which we see, and like a Photoshop of one. Anyways, guys, that wraps it up for this week. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, as always, let me know in the comments below. I want to know what you guys are most excited for from today's video, and beyond that, I will see you all in the next one. Take it easy.